This video commemorates the Yazidis who were exterminated by a terrorist organization whose legislation was derived from religious texts found on every shelf, in every home. To remind the world that there are thousands of men, women and children killed in a matter of days, and thousands of women and girls who were raped and traded in slave markets. In painful scenes that took us back 1,400 years. This video is a reminder that there are still thousands of women and children missing without knowing their fate. It is a call to all free peoples to support the call of bereaved families to help find the kidnapped and end this tragedy. In this video, I will translate and interpret a Quranic verse, which is considered one of the verses that legitimize all these heinous acts that will remain a threat to all peoples, as long as the Takfiri thought is not erased from its roots. Please support the hashtag #RescueYazidisKidnapper. To encourage the power of the free world to work on liberation them. In this video, I will interpret verse 24 of Surah An-Nisa. This verse is very important in Islamic law, which I am in the process of explaining. First, I will go through the Islamic translation and shed light on what has been added, then I will translate the original text with an accurate translation, and in the end I will explain the reason for descending to understand its true meaning on a larger scale. Measuring and clarifying the extent of its impact on the Islamic community and the laws emanating from it. As per one of the Muslim websites. Reference below, also forbidden are married women, except female captives in your possession. This is Allah's commandment to you. Lawful to you are all beyond these, as long as you seek them with your wealth in a legal marriage, not in fornication. Give those you have consummated marriage with their due dowries. It is permissible to be mutually gracious regarding the said dowry. Surely Allah is all-knowing, all-wise. I will not talk about the first part of the verse, it is accurate to some extent, but I will talk about the second part from. As long as you seek them with your wealth in a legal marriage, to the end of the verse. Where the words and terms like legal marriage, you have consummated marriage, dowries, or the said dowry are all not exist, in the original text. This is the habit of Islamic commentators, in adding words and phrases, to beautify the verse and reduce the impact of its true meaning of it. This part is about pleasure in exchange with pay. To be more accurate, it is about sexual pleasure, in exchange with pay, and did not mention legal marriage or dowries etc. This relationship turns from obscene to chastity by paying the agreed amount. So the exact translation for this part is, provided you seek them with your wealth, maintain chastity and do not commit indecency. Then whoever of women you have sexually enjoyed, give them their pay due, if you agree mutually, then there is no sin on you. Accordingly, the most close translation for the whole verse is, also forbidden married women except captives in your possession. This is the decree of Allah upon you, and lawful to you are all beyond these, provided you seek them with your wealth, maintain chastity and do not commit indecency. Then whoever of women you have sexually enjoyed, give them their pay due, if you agree mutually, then there is no sin on you, indeed Allah is all-knowing, all-wise. Let us now talk about the importance of this verse, in Islamic legislation, and its impact on Islamic societies. There are 2 points I would like to talk about. First, the reasons for the revelation of this verse. This verse was revealed, according to Islamic references, referenced below. When Prophet Muhammad captured the people of Udus, his followers asked him what to do with the captive married women. He replied that they could be treated as if they were not married. Which means that they can have sexual contact with them, and they can trade them in the slave market. His followers refused his instruction, because it contradicts the etiquette that they were brought up with, which forbids them to approach married women who know their lineage and their spouses. Then this verse came on the next day, which changed the moral order for these people and the treatment of captives forever, with the permission of God, and the blessing of His messenger. This license became an incentive for Muhammad's followers to participate with him in the invasions. If they won the women of the earth, and if they were killed, they won the nymphs of heaven and the booths collapsed. Throughout Islamic history, the captives trade was a staple of the economy. Captives markets spread in all cities, as captives were transferred from the occupied regions to centers of government in the Islamic State, for later distribution to the rest of the cities. Just to name a few, hundreds of thousands of Berbers women were transported to the capital of the Umayyad succession after the Muslims invaded North Africa. When the followers of the so-called Islamic State in Syria and Iraq invaded the areas inhabited by the Yazidis, the soldiers of the Islamic State practiced the most heinous crimes of genocide against men and children. As for the women and girls, they took them to the center of their state and divided them among themselves. So the Caliph took 1/5, as the Prophet of Islam used to do in the past, and divided the remainder among the fighters, each according to his status. The rape began and they were traded in slave markets. As for the women who refused to be raped, they put them in cages and burned them alive. Old women who could not be trafficked were killed because they were a burden for the state. Just a reminder, there are still thousands of Yazidi women and children missing to this day without knowing their fate, in an issue that will remain a stain on the face of humanity. Also, they tried to invade other areas, inhabited by religious minorities, in order to captive their women. But they were defeated, by the Kurdish in northern Syria, and by the Druze in southern Syria. What was applied in the recent past, is a true copy of what was applied to the women of Bani Utaz, or to the women of Banu Qurayza, or to any area that was invaded by the Muslims, and all of this was legitimized by this verse. As every custom, the sheikhs of Islam tried to beautify this verse and to show the justice and grace of Islamic law. But they found no reasonable excuse other than to say, it is not permissible to have intercourse with captive except after making sure that she is not pregnant while waiting until her menstruation is confirmed. Second, in addition to legislating the rape of married captives, and legislating their trade. The second part of this verse legalizes so-called pleasure marriage. It is a marriage of a fixed period of time, in exchange for an agreed amount, which may be for hours, days, weeks, or months. Each period has a different wage, according to the length of the period. This marriage is blessed by the Imam, who charges a portion of the agreed-upon sum as a fee. This type of marriage remained in the era of the Messenger and his successors until Umar ibn al-Khattab came, and later forbade it, and it was re-legalized after the death of Umar. Then it was forbidden, until it was legislated later and remains valid and in effect to this day. After that, the sheikhs of Islam mastered the creation of other types of marriage, based on the same principle, but with different names as and not limited to 1. Misire marriage, 2. Tourist marriage, 3. Marriages on conditions, etc. Certainly, other types of marriage will appear, as long as there are sheikhs capable of interpretation and creativity. So that the woman will remain the victim, and the commodity that the Creator has created only for the pleasure of the man, and her rotation in his orbit. In the end, this video took over 100 hours of hard work. And this journey is very long because there are a large number of verses that need clarification. If you like the content, please give us a big thumb up, subscribe to this channel, and share this video. In the next video, I will analyze and translate another verse